So this is the second deliverable of the Career Planning and Retirement Project made by Cadet Paul Delmarsky and Cadet Stephen Caravana. As you can see here, this is the user input table that will be available for any soldier to choose which category he pertains to. So we can see that he is available to pick his current grade, graded ETS, his years in service, post location, like special pays eligibility, and like college locations, and like year when he's going to use the GI Bill. On the right hand side here, where the not available signs are pretty much the numbers that are gonna pop up. Each number is gonna be representative of one of the options. So if, for example, the soldier picks his current grade as an E4, we can see that the number 4 will pop up. And where this number is coming from is from the rank and pay table. So as you can see here, these are the grades listed, the current ranks, and to the left of them there's numbers that correspond to each rank. And whenever a soldier picks a rank, that is the number that is going to show up to the right of it, right here. And the same thing goes for the years in service, either if it's current years in service or the years in service at ETS. So these are the numbers that will pop up when the soldier picks his years of service. So depending on the input over here, the result is going to show up in this second tab. And the reason why it's not showing up right now is because to calculate the current monthly pay and the monthly pay at ETS, the soldier is required to also list his special pays eligibility. And the options that are available are non, airborne, deployment pay, diving if enlisted, diving as an officer, and the halo jump. So let's say for now he is not eligible for any special pays. And if you go in the results table, it shows his current monthly pay and the monthly pay that he is going to have at ETS. Alright. If we go next, the soldier can pick his current post location. And let's assume that his post is in Fairbanks, Arkansas. And we'll pick another post for him at his retirement date. And what we need it for is to calculate his BAH. This is the BAH table, and if I minimize it, you can actually see how big it is. So on the left hand side we have the post locations listed. Marked in blue are the pays that the soldier will get if he has dependents, and marked in green are the pays that the soldier will get for his BAH if he does not have dependents. And as you can see here on the far left hand side, again marked in red are the numbers that are corresponding to each available option for the soldier. And we can see them here, right here. So now that we went to the special pays eligibility, let's actually pick one. And let's say that our soldier is currently deployed. So what it does, it will go into the special pay tab, and it'll look at the deployment row, and it'll assign it the number 3. And the current deployment pay that the soldier will get is $225. And you can see here that the numbers changed a little bit from what we had before. The dependent status. There's 2 options available, yes or no. This is pretty much the only difference that's making our Excel spreadsheet from looking on the either left hand side or the right hand side. So if we pick yes for our dependent status, you can see the number 1 showed up here. That means it's gonna look at the left hand side of our table. And if you look at the results table, we can already see the numbers that pop up for the BAH, the current BAH and the BAH at the retirement date. So for contribution matches, even though this field is blank, that just pretty much means that the soldier has allotted 0% as his contribution matches. And in this case, the bank will match 1% regardless. But let's say the soldier decided to allot like 4%, and you can see that the contribution match changed to 4.5%. And this is all coming from the TSP table, where it's looking up the percent that the soldier allotted and pretty much sums up these two numbers or these two numbers together to say what the DoD will match. So probably the most challenging part was doing the college location, and for that I had to go and find a website that had listed the most expensive public colleges in each state. And you can see here, these are the states listed. These are the school names. So like I said, these are the school names, and this is the tuition fee for each year. And this is the website where I got this information from. So let's say our user decides to go to college in Connecticut. And you can see here, this is the actual number for the tuition. This is the amount of tuition it costs. And it's taken directly from the table, from the college tuition table, which is Connecticut, and you can see $12,700. Let's say the soldier doesn't want to take the GI Bill right away, but he plans to maybe take it in the year 2020. And this is done in order to calculate the net present value of the GI Bill. And let's say that the post location the soldier will be able to pick on his own. So since the college is in Connecticut, let's assume that he's also stationed somewhere close. So let's say he is stationed in New Haven, Connecticut. And these numbers are coming from the NPV calculation table. As you can see here, this is the year that the soldier might pick for his GI Bill, and each year has a number assigned to it. Depending on the college that the soldier will pick, this number will change too. So if I for some reason decide to change, and instead of going to Connecticut I want to go to Delaware to college, you can see that the tuition has changed. Instead of 12,700, it's now 12,342. But for the sake of our example, we're just going to change it back to Connecticut. And now we're going back to the NPV calculation table. Therefore, the BAH that is taken into consideration during calculation of the GI Bill is an E5 rank with the dependents. So all I had to do, the only thing that affects this number is the location of the post. So if I go here and change the location of the post, instead of New Haven, Connecticut to Hartford, Connecticut, you can see that the BAH has changed to 1890. Once again, I'll just change it back to New Haven. And you can see that this number went back. So the adjusted tuition is pretty much calculating the future value of the tuition in year 0, which it is right now, since all the numbers that I have taken from the website are taken from the year of 2015. Therefore, the adjusted tuition is just going to calculate the future value in each year. And the future value is pretty much changed based on the rate at which the tuition increases, and that rate is 5%, and I have found it at this website right here. The present value of the tuition is influenced by the inflation rate, and I have found the inflation rates in the past decade at this website, and I took the average of it, and it came out to be 2.55%. So it's taken pretty much the future value of a tuition at some year and just takes the present value, takes the money back to the year of 2015. And the adjusted BAH does the same thing. I have found the BAH increasing rate at this website, and it came out to be 2.94%. And this is what makes this value change. When we take the future value, the BAH will increase. Now, at the same time, the BAH is affected by the inflation, and therefore we have to take the same money and take it to the present value, and the inflation rate for the BAH is going to be the same as the inflation rate for the college tuition, which is 2.55%. And therefore, our soldier has decided to go to college in the year 2020. So what this will do is it will take the year 2020, and as you can see this row, it is going to sum up these two numbers, the present value of the tuition and the present value of the BAH, and this is the number, and it's going to sum up these next three numbers, and you can see here is the result. This is what the sum of those three numbers is going to be. This is the present value of the college tuition for the soldier, and this is pretty much the essence of the whole project. Now, for the smaller details, how I made these numbers pop up is I have used the index function, and like I said before, depending on the option that the soldier chose, that word or character was associated with a number by using the index function. It was matching it together. In the results table, you can see that I have also used the index function in order to find the correct values. So what it does, it references pretty much back to the user input table, takes one of these numbers, depending on the one that is required for the calculation, and it will take that number, it will reference to the table that is required for, in this current case, it's going to calculate the current monthly pay. It is going to take the number from the current grade, the current years in service, and the special pay eligibility, and it's going to reference them to these two tables, the rank and pay and the special pay. And this is how it shows up the numbers, and the same procedure goes for all of these fields together. Now, the only tricky part was the BAH calculation, since there is two options available for yes and no for the dependent status. I was required to use a if function. Actually, I was required to use it twice. And what I did is pretty much I said if the value for the dependent was a 1, it will look on the left hand side of the table. If the value for the dependent is a 2, which corresponds to a no option, it will look on the right hand side of the table. And this is pretty much how it looked up the values for them. Sir, this is the end of the project description. Right here are the works cited, which are pretty much the same links that I have mentioned in the middle of the video that were accompanied by the tables. Thank you for your time.